This is where seasons turn, not with a red card, not with a dodgy VAR call, but quietly in a physio room. Because Bruno Fernandes is injured, Kobbie Mainoo is injured, and suddenly Man United's midfield is down to bare bones. No captain, no tempo setter, no control freak demanding the ball under pressure, and Ruben Amorim now has to solve the hardest problem in football. How do you build a double pivot when your two best midfielders can't play? This isn't about tactics on a whiteboard, this is about trust, about profiles, about who can survive a Premier League midfield when things go wrong. Because Newcastle is coming, the fixture list is brutal, and AFCON has ripped the depth out of the squad. And United don't have the luxury of let's see how it goes. So today we're breaking down the four real options Amorim has left: Manuel Ugarte, Casemiro, Lisandro Martinez, and Jack Fletcher, and why the obvious pairing might be the worst one. Let's start with what will probably happen. Casemiro and Manuel Ugarte is the most logical pairing on paper. Experience plus energy. A destroyer next to a destroyer. If you're Ruben Amorim under pressure, injuries everywhere, Boxing Day looming, this is the safe option. But here's the uncomfortable truth. This midfield has all the ingredients to look busy and still lose control. Casemiro, given now, gives you leadership. He reads danger early. He knows when to foul, when to slow the game, when to sting out of a press. But Casemiro cannot cover ground like he used to, and he cannot be the only player capable of playing forward under pressure. Which brings us to Ugarte. Ugarte tackles, Ugarte bites, Ugarte chases shadows with commitment. Against Villa, he made more tackles than anyone on the pitch, and that's the headline stat people cling to. But football is not a spreadsheet, because in possession, Ugarte is a problem. Pressed aggressively, he panics. Pressed intelligently, he becomes a trigger. Villa targeted him, Brentford targeted him, City targeted him, and the record doesn't lie. United have not won a league game when Ugarte starts this season. Now that's not all on him, but it tells you something. A Casemiro-Ugarte pivot wins duels, but it doesn't win games. It doesn't control rhythm, it doesn't help build attacks. Without Bruno and Mainoo, this pairing asks who progresses the ball, who breaks lines, and who calms the game when United are under siege. And the honest answer is nobody. The midfield survives games, it doesn't dominate them. Let's zoom in on Ugarte, because this is where the fan base is split. Ugarte is not lazy, Ugarte is not hiding. He's doing exactly what he's always done. The problem is what he can't do. He struggles receiving on the half turn, he struggles when pressed from behind, he struggles when asked to play progressive passes at speed. Against Villa, he lost possession cheaply early on. He mishit a diagonal pass so badly it became a goal kick. He won only 8 of 15 duels. He made 3 ball recoveries despite constant pressing, and this matters more than ever, because without Bruno, United lose their primary chance creator, their emotional leader, their outlet when things get frantic, which means the pivot must do more than tackle. And this is why fans reacted so strongly when Jack Fletcher came on, because suddenly the ball moved more quickly, the angles were cleaner, the first touch wasn't panicked, and that's not a coincidence. Now let's talk about the pairing that makes sense football-wise, even if it terrifies managers. Casemiro and Jack Fletcher, an 18-year-old academy midfielder next to a 5-time Champions League winner. On paper, that's madness. On the pitch, potentially what exactly United need. Because Fletcher doesn't do everything, but what he does cleanly. He takes the ball on the half turn, he plays forward quickly, he doesn't hide from responsibility, and in his cameo against Villa, Fletcher didn't overplay. He didn't chase, he didn't panic. He did the basics, which is more than can be said for some senior players. Now imagine the balance. Casemiro sits, screens and organizes, and Fletcher links phases, moves the ball and offers angles. This pairing gives United something they desperately lack without Bruno, which is connectivity. Casemiro protects Fletcher. Fletcher frees Casemiro from build-up responsibility. Is it perfect? No. Will Fletcher make mistakes? Absolutely. But here's the key difference. Mistakes from Fletcher come from ambition. Mistakes from Ugarte come from limitation. And that's a huge distinction. This is the type of midfield that grows during adversity, the type that prepares you for AFCON absences, and the type that actually aligns with Amorim's plan, because if you can't trust an academy midfielder now, when will you? Then there's Lisandro Martinez, the wild card, the emergency option Amorim said he didn't want to use, and yet when he came on against Villa, the midfield instantly improved. Martinez doesn't play like a centre-back in midfield. He plays like a defender who hates losing the ball. He wins it early, he steps into space aggressively, and he passes with conviction. Gary Neville noticed it immediately. Win the ball, stride forward, play across it to shift the defense. That's midfield instinct. A Casemiro Martinez pairing would be extremely aggressive, physically dominant and excellent in big away games. But there's a cost. You weaken the defense, you risk Lisandro's knee long term, and you lose flexibility in game. This is a pairing for specific moments, not a run of fixtures. City away? Maybe. Arsenal away? Possibly. And Newcastle at home? Probably not. It's a solution, not a strategy. So here's the reality. What Amorim will do is Casemiro and Ugarte. But what Amorim should consider is Casemiro and Fletcher. What Amorim must keep as a weapon is the Martinez and midfield option, selectively. Because United cannot afford to drift through games without control. They cannot afford a pivot that only reacts. Without Bruno Fernandes, the midfield must keep the ball, calm the game and reduce the chaos. And right now, the academy kid offers something the £50 million midfielder doesn't. That's not hype, that's football. This injury crisis is brutal, but it's also revealing because it also tells you who Amorim trusts, who he protects and who the future might belong to. United are going to struggle, Amorim said it himself. But how they struggle will define the season. And the midfield, without Bruno, without Mainoo, is where the story will be written.